When guitar maker Matthew Semmens heard about plans for a historic Bunya pine tree to be cut down and turned into wood chips, he knew he had to step in.
I went into rescue mode, like straight away. I freaked out. I was like, we've got to, save this tree and use it in the local community building guitars.
This Bunya tree was known as the Jesmine Roundabout tree by locals in Newcastle, New South Wales. The beloved tree was cut down to make way for an inner-city bypass last year, drawing criticism from some locals. While the exact age of the tree is unknown, Mr Semmens explains the tree was iconic to the local community.
There was a lady that was about 90 years old, and she said that she used to walk to school, and the tree was, a fully grown tree when she was walking to school. So that was 90 plus years ago now. So we counted the growth rings on the tree, and there was over 90, probably about 100 growth rings that I counted.
The musician has been teaching people how to make guitars for more than a decade and says Bunya pine is used by guitar makers throughout Australia.
It's really light, really stiff, has a certain sound. It has an earthy sound to it. If you compare it to other timbers, it's definitely got its own unique, tone to the timber.
But getting his hands on the tree was a long and complex journey with the road builder. And
at first I asked them if I could, have this tree, and they said nope. And I said, and I called them back the next day and pleaded. I was like, is there any way that I could have this tree? When
he was allowed to have the tree, the local community rallied behind him, offering excavators, trucks and cranes to help him move the bunya. The timber was left to dry for around 6 months, and it's now ready to be turned into guitars. Mr Semmens estimates around 500 guitars will come out of the bunya, and recently made the first guitar from the beloved tree.
It'd probably take about 17, 18 years, maybe 20, before I run out of that timber. So, there'll be guitars coming out of, in the Newcastle community for at least 20 years.
When I touch it, it gives me warmth.
Horticulturalist Wayne Eaton has lived near the Jesmine Roundabout for more than 4 decades and brought the tree to Mr Semmens' attention. He says having this soul-towering bunya in the middle of a busy suburban roundabout is what made it unique.
There's something about them, there really is, that warms your heart and warms your soul. They're very different.
Mr Eaton can see the development of the bypass from his front door, and he misses seeing the tree.
You look at it every day, you drive past it every day, and I suppose to a lot of people it is just another tree, but it was more than that to a lot of people, not just myself.
Some major guitar manufacturing companies in Australia have agreements with the local councils and community groups to reuse timber from trees. And it's something Mr Semmens would like to see more of.
There's so many other possible alternatives for local iconic trees, and trees that could be used in, the furniture making business and different things rather than just being turned to wood chips, So I think, having a discussion with the local council would be fantastic to save some of these really cool trees.
Giving a second life to the infamous Jesmine Roundabout tree.
So the tree itself then, in a sense, would live on. There would be a purpose then for it to come down. This side here, of the tree.